Anita here is the founder of the SAFE movement, a group that bears witness to slaughterhouses around the world. So I just want to ask you a couple questions, and really this is for people who don't really know about the SAFE movement to kind of introduce them. So what is the SAFE movement?
The SAFE movement is a grassroots network around the globe where we bear witness to animals in trucks, like the one passing us right now, in front of slaughterhouses. So we say that everyone has a duty, a moral duty, to bear witness. So it doesn't matter, who you are or what age you are. We all have a duty to not look away, but to come close and to try to help these animals.
Right, and really quick, how many chapters do we have around the world right now?
So we have about 512 chapters in 57 countries, and we have a 5-year strategic plan to have 20,000 chapters in 5 years.
And how is this going to change the world?
Well, when people bear witness, it's a life-changing experience. It's one thing to watch a video, and a video is what made me go vegan and become an activist. But when I bore witness to pigs in trucks firsthand, it made animal rights the #1 priority in my life. So it completely changed my life. And a lot of people say, I'm not an activist. They don't identify as an activist. They come to one vigil, then they identify as an activist.
Right, and that's exactly what happened to me. And when I told you that in LA, you told me that you've seen that for many, many years, where you've seen people go to vigils and become activists after that. What would you say to someone who might want to come out to a vigil maybe, but one of the biggest concerns I get is that they're scared to come out? So what do you say to that?
Okay, so the animals want you there. So as an animal lover, you sometimes have to make a sacrifice for the ones you love. I mean, that's the definition of love. Love is to give your time and energy to someone, including, even if it causes you bodily harm, because that's what love is. So think the animals are asking you to be there, to tell their stories, to try to help them. So that's the #1 reason. And you're also stronger than you think, and it also gives meaning in your life. Like, I've met the best people I've ever met in my life in the animal rights movement. I've been in many other movements, and they're amazing people in all movements. But I've never met more altruistic, kinder people in my life. And so you get meaning in life, you meet this amazing community, and most importantly, you have an impact. The animals want you there. So those are the reasons. And the thing is, we need lots of groups, so we need everybody to bear witness. We need to start new chapters, and we'd like your help in that. And you're talking about going on a tour in Japan and spreading the movement there. And so one of the main ways that we're growing is through organizing tours, and we want you, Ryuji, to help us with that.
Yeah, absolutely. And one thing that I really wanted to ask you, I just remembered, is that I know you're an avid reader, you're a scholar, and I know that you've studied a lot of movements and just a lot of things to kind of create this and ultimately organize this. So what are some main inspirations, or how did this come about, or what did you study to create this?
Right, so other social movements bear witness, and they also use love-based community organizing. So one of our main inspirations are Leo Tolstoy, Gandhi, Cesar Chavez, Lois Gibbs, Martin Luther King, many other people. And they use love in their organizing. And so I used to teach a course on social movement strategies and tactics, and each week we'd look at a different strategy, like community organizing and nonviolent direct action. And what I learned from reading biographies by Gandhi and books about, there's another truck passing us right now, the 200 souls, pig souls there. So what I learned from these books was that you need to be on the ground. You can't just be behind a computer. If you want to make change, you got to meet people face to face. You got to be there regularly. So when we started Toronto Pig Save in 2010 and embarked on weekly vigils in 2011, we did 3 vigils a week, every week, even if it was like holidays. Every single week we did 3 vigils at one site. It was a site-specific community organizing campaign. And within a year and a half, that slaughterhouse went bankrupt. And so now we come to Fearman's, which is in Burlington. It's about 40 minutes outside Toronto, where we do our weekly vigils here now.
Right, and one thing that you touched upon that was really eye-opening for me is you talked about this love-based organizing. So, because what I see a lot in our movement as well, and especially on social media, what we've seen in real life too, we see people not coming from a place of love, not just when they're organizing, but when they're talking to people or doing outreach or things like that. So would you say, from having studied all these people who actually did change the world in the past, that they always came from a place of love? Is that their primary?
I think it's really important to do that, to come mainly from a place of love. To be honest, like I was a vegetarian, and I was teaching at Queen's University, and there was this radical group. I thought it was radical. They were radical. They were followers of Francione, and they don't always use super love-based, but they converted me to veganism. So I think there's a place for different forms of activism. I do believe that love-based activism is the strongest form, and that's why I'm spending time on that. But I don't discount other types of activism. But I do think most people are more likely to listen to your educational approach if you use love. And also for yourself, it's more sustainable, because if you're highly angry and hateful, it actually eats away at you. And you know, we wouldn't be able to do this for years and years. We're only feeling better and better each year as the movement is growing, and you know, it's very sustainable on us as well.
Right. And what you said is that there's a place for everything, perhaps, because of course different people change different ways. I've known people who have been shamed into being vegan and stuff like that. But what you were saying earlier is that those world leaders who have changed the world have overall had a love-based approach.
Exactly. Like the biggest, you know, change makers like Gandhi, Martin Luther King, I think, you know, the main ones, like, or if you look at the environmental justice movement, Lois Gibbs, it's all love-based, non-violent, you know, direct action, and love-based community organizing. So I think that's key.
Got it. Incredible. And is there anything that you want to leave people with?
So we want people to be not only come to a vigil, and you know, that might help you become vegan, but more importantly, it'll help you become an activist and an organizer. And you know, Ryuji, you're going to help us go to Japan and, you know, go on an organizing tour. So to me, nothing makes me happier than that. So we don't only want vegans and activists, but we want organizers.
Got it. Awesome. Well, Anita, thank you so much for this. This is incredible. So hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching. We appreciate it, and